We are under the Friday night lights here at Johnny Bright. It's the Facey Falcons facing off against the Sheppard Thunderbirds. Connor Toffin joined by Rob Herod. Welcome to a beautiful Johnny Bright Park on this Friday night. Rob, they're under the Friday night lights, like I said, playing on TV. Big game for both of these teams tonight.
Well, at the end of October with some great weather. Again, we start off with the sun. It's now set, but the air is calm. Two teams ready to go, and two teams that programs really have a lot of history. And we can talk about that throughout the show tonight. But again, lots to play for. Shep kind of in a different situation, out of the playoff mix, but obviously continuing to establish some program movement and development in the right direction. They lost a few games early by close scores and unfortunate turnovers, so they are out of the playoff mix. Facey right in the mix, ranked 10th in the province, coming off a loss from Sal, the crosstown rivals there out in Sherwood Park. So again, lots to play for Facey, and Shep really continue to establish that program and development.
So we'll talk about Shep a little bit to start. Like you said, they've played close, but they've ended up dropping games, losing their first 3 of the year by just a total of 17 points. So for a team like this that's out of the playoff push, what kind of value does this game have for them?
Well, it's really a measuring stick for them. Again, Facey playing at a high level right now, going into the provincials, wanting to kind of show the development their program has showed over the years. It's a really good measuring stick for Shep. Shep has had some success in the last number of years at the top level, and so kind of trying to reestablish that against a team like this, and they can kind of play spoiler and change the playoff picture a little bit for Facey. So they're going to continue to work hard, and it's exciting to see. Again, we've got a young quarterback on Shep that's worked his way into the lineup and wanting to show that he is going to be the guy moving forward for the Thunderbirds. And of course, Facey, a very veteran-laden team. Lots of seniors on this team. It's kind of their year to make it or break it. They'll be in a little bit of a rebuild next year. Never a total reset, but wanting to rebuild some of those veterans and develop those young players. But this is their year with a lot of veterans. And again, I believe earlier in the year, they beat Sal, and then I think they lost to Sal. So it's some tight matches here in high school football. And this one's going to be a good one.
And for Facey, 6-2, ranked 10th. And they're coming off of a big loss to Sal last week. Be a big bounce-back game today for the Falcons, who are kicking off to start. Thunderbirds to receive the opening kickoff. That's Ben Miller with a defensive back across the 50, falling across midfield. A huge start for Shep. Ben Miller with the big return.
Well, and I think that's what we're going to need from Shep is plays on special teams. Everybody on the team contributing to hang in here with the Facey Falcons. Again, it's going to be a great one. Great start, great momentum builder for Shep. We'll see if their offense can come out and keep that momentum and move the ball already in the Facey territory.
This is Jack DeGraff, the grade 10 quarterback for Shep. Takes a quick look right just out of the receiver's reach, looking for Braden Schutte.
Well, right out of the gate, coming out with a short passing game, a quick little two-route combo down here on the short side of the field, little out and a go. But again, you can see the DB both jumping on that, eyes into the backfield. So they're going to want to make sure they don't get caught with DBs jumping in and picking one of those short flat routes off. But we'll see what they have here on 2nd and 10.
Very young team for Shep this year. 26 players expected to return next season. 2nd and 10. Little screenplay over the middle of the field. It's reeled in and fighting for the first down. It's going to be close as Parker McConnell, the running back, picks up 9. We'll set up a 3rd and 1.
Well, you can see Facey coming with some pressure again, setting up the screen. A great job. And when you want those offensive line, you can see in front, they've got to go pick up some bodies. Again, they pick up a couple. He goes a lot further. But again, giving themselves an opportunity. 3rd and 1. Offense staying on the field here early gamble for the Thunderbird.
T-Birds coming into this game, probably the underdogs, so don't hate the gamble here. Early ball at the 44. They'll meet it just inside the 43. They'll hand it off, and it's going to be stopped close. Facey thinks they have the stop. It's going to be tight, but I think I agree.
Yeah, turnover on downs, met him right in the hole, you can see there. didn't get the 2 or yard and a half that he needed. So big, again, we talk about momentum, big return by Ross Shepp, and Facey's defense just taking that back and handing the ball over in decent field position outside the 40 for the Falcons here in their first opportunity on offense.
So it ends up about a yard short. Gives way to A.J. Ramika. Quarterback for the Falcons. Quick look out left. He's going to find Rivanen. And taken down after about a 5-yard gain.
Good first down production, getting half the distance they need. You can see here, wide receiver screen. We saw that in the first game tonight. And you can see them coming back out to the wide receiver screen. Great job by the corner to take on that block and come off and make the tackle to limit the gain to 5 yards.
They got really exactly halfway there. Second and as medium as you can get. First run of the game for the Falcons. Falling forward right near the first down marker is Lucas Westcott. It's going to be close.
You can see there the pulling lineman just sealing the edge there, or popping the edge out again, trying to get the yards, but churning the legs and finishing forward. And when running backs can finish forward like that, it makes it close enough. So looks like they gave him the yards, just enough from the view across the field there. It's going to be first down to Facey.
Tell you what, that measurement would have been
really
close. I don't know.
I think it would have been close. I agree with you.
They'll give them the first down anyways. Falcons with the ball just inside the 54. They'll fake it, play over the middle. Looked like they might have had Jack McIntyre for a second, but couldn't quite make the connection.
Yeah, a little play action in the backfield. You can see here again, trying to draw those backers up, but again, just missed on his target as he's come across on the slant there. I'm looking at second and long now.
Ramika. Facey needs 10. They're going to pitch it to the running back, making a couple miss inside the 50. He's going to get right near the sticks. Powerful run there for Evan Walker.
Yeah, really stretching that out. You can see just out of the gun, you got a quick toss trying to get the edge. You got pulling linemen out there, and the receivers are downfield, blocking on the DBs, creating that space. But just some hard running and just finding his way through very tight quarters here now to set up 3rd and 1.
It is a full one. Walker stays in the backfield. He's going to get it, runs over the middle, met at the line of scrimmage, kicks it out left, and does just enough to get the first down and about another yard there. First down, Falcons.
Well, you don't always want to see your running back bounce it to the edge. You can see here, he's kind of congested in there, but once he bounces it to the edge, if Ross Shepp gets out there, he's lost the yards there, does a good job of realizing, hey, I may not get the full edge, but I need to get at least the yard. And that he does.
Ball is just inside the 45. Ramika, the quarterback, had a couple games of over 300 yards passing this year against JP, who we just seen play, and Spruce Grove as well. Going to throw an incompletion here and bring up 2nd and long.
Hits the turf, and we'll bring up 2nd.
Well, and just through his hands, he's got to watch that in. It comes in a little bit low after it dives out, and we always teach receivers, that ball's coming in low. Make sure you get your eyes on it because you want to secure that right into your hands. Watch it right into your hands. Didn't do that, slipped through his hands, putting them in a 2nd and 10.
Ramika will fake it. He's going to run it himself. Flag on the play. Ramika spinning through the tackle, still on his feet, getting pushed by the pile. Might have gotten the first down. Obviously, right now, all that matters is that flag lying on the 50-yard line.
Yeah, I think based on the spot, it'll have it. We'll see what this flag has.
Looks like the offense is walking back.
Holding. Bev Facey, number 93. It's a 10-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
So it would have been a first down. Instead, ball placed at midfield, 2nd down and 20.
It's a little bit of a bigger hill to climb here for the Falcons offense. Again, coming out with 4 4 receivers, a tight end and a back.
Snap off, play action, going downfield. Nice catch there. Reeled in by Caius Kropp. It's not going to be enough for the first down, but really pretty play there to gain 8. And that'll bring out the punting unit.
Caius Kropp, again, you can see the length on this catch. Does a great job of getting up. He's actually spent some time playing DB as well. Had an opportunity to coach him as a receiver last year with the Golden Bears Selects program. And again, using that length, full length, all of it to pull that one in. Again, multi-sport athletes playing multiple directions, both on offense and defense. Made a nice catch. Unfortunately, with the penalty, weren't able to gain the yards they needed.
Falcons will bring on the punting unit. Ethan Thompson standing on his own 50. Maybe a bit of a miscommunication here from the Bev Facey Falcons, and that's going to cost them 5 yards.
Time count violation. Bev Facey, number 90. 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
And that'll back up the punting unit 5 yards.
Well, when you're missing someone and then everyone on the field's calling your name, you don't really want to show up. So
it seems like there's still some confusion here.
It's coming out of the who was supposed to be on. Looked like you had to go to the locker room. So that comes down to communication. Often what happens, and as a head coach, you face this a lot. Like players will be like, oh, I got to go to the washroom, but they don't tell everybody. They don't tell the special teams coordinator until you don't get the sub in. And could have been the case there where you needed to go to the locker room and get tended to either by medical staff or whatever. But again, it's costing them 5 more yards.
Ross Shepp's defense comes up with a big stop. Thompson gets a good boot away. Good hang time on that one. Will bounce at the 15 and straight out of bounds. That is a really good punt.
Yeah, great punt. Got lots of distance on it. Again, just no return. Again, you can see the angle of his body angling for the sideline. Again, could even if it was caught, it landed literally half a yard out of bounds, putting Ross Shepp what looks to be like right at their 10-yard line. So right in the shadows of their goalposts here. Got a long field, still 0-0. Both offenses unable to move too much. They got a little bit of drive going, but a long field facing Ross Shepp's offense.
Handoff, running left and hit hard was Parker McConnell.
Well, good foot speed getting out of the backfield there. You can see on the handoff, just the explosion quickly to the edge. Gets outside the edge, but Bev Facey there just kind of colliding right there. Nice stick there by the defense, limiting the gain to 4 yards. Shepp facing 2nd and 6.
Gonna look towards Chudy, reeled in. Chudy, coming off a 3-game absence, makes his first catch on the night. First down.
Yeah, and a great receiver, and that they've missed him over the last couple of weeks, but you can see there, just a great route, creating space. Again, always that deep threat, and you always want to sell the DB like you're going deep to keep them in their back pedal breakdown. Timing was perfect. Nice delivery there for the first down for Ross Shepp.
Another run up the middle for McConnell. Not going to go very far, maybe a pickup of 1.
You can see there on the replay, 2 of Ross Shepp's offensive line moved up to 2nd level, need to move their feet and maintain those blocks because 2 all simultaneously. The Bev Facey Falcons defense is really owning that box play right now and just not letting Ross Shepp get bodies on their players. So good athleticism in the box early on. Shepp's going to have to go to the air.
Quick look right for DeGraff, throwing to the corner and just out of the reach of Chudy. And that will bring on the punting unit.
You know, quick release, good timing route on the 6 or the corner route, depending on how the numbering system works. And in football, you have different numbering systems, and depending on your offensive coordinator and what they choose to use, sometimes odd numbers are out or odd numbers are in. In that case, running the corner out towards what would be the corner of the field. Just again, a very common route in Canadian football, especially because of the width of the field. There's lots of space out there. It's nice to get it out. Unfortunately, not quite on target on that one, so forced to a punting situation.
Bosasic, the receiver, out to punt. Runs into it a little bit. It's fielded at the 45. And not much on the return there for Bev Facey, but they'll get the Ball in plus territory to start the drive.
Track down.
We got a little bit of formation change here. They come out to the side. I used to call this a run punt. I don't know what they call it, but a little run punt. So the opportunity is there. If Facey doesn't adjust to the formation change or the punt formation change, they have the opportunity to give a green light to go and run. If they don't, he kicks it on the run. And so getting some yards, but Facey's still in great field position on the 45 of Ross Sheppard going in.
Micah hands it off. And met at the 45. There was Thunderbirds everywhere. Pickup of 1 for the Falcons.
So Westcott having a nice year, 86 carries, 541 yards, and 7 touchdowns coming into this game. So some great numbers by the back there, number 26, Lucas Westcott, obviously making an impact early in the run game here.
2nd and 9. They'll go to the air. It's going to be a screen pass to Westcott. Crosses the 40, needed the 35. He's taken down a couple yards short. And you would have to imagine this part of the field, unless they got a great kicker waiting on their sideline, this might be 3-down territory.
It looks like they're taking out some receivers, putting in some bigger bodies in there. We got a D lineman going in and another what looks like to be a fullback, so short yardage unit. And then we got a couple more guys coming in. So a different personnel package based on what they want to do here on 3rd and what looks like a 2. And I'm just wondering.
Bev Facey.
Yeah, timeout comes from Bev Facey. So I think what happens is I thought maybe they felt like they were a little bit closer, like 3rd and 1, 3rd and a half a yard. And now it's like, oh, it's 3rd and a yard and a half, almost 2. Maybe a different play call. So we'll see what personnel they come out with here based on their play selection to see if they can execute and keep this drive alive. But opportunity presents itself to the Ross Sheppard defense to maybe capture some momentum back from Bev Facey, who's looking at trying to get this first down in Ross Sheppard territory to get some points on the board to break this lock at 0.
So they need the tip of the football to get to the 35. It's a full 2 yards. Ball spotted at the 37.
So we talked about the extra guys. You can see the alignment now has got multiple linemen. So you got your 5 linemen plus a couple tight ends on either side and 2 backs in the backfield.
Fullback in on the snap. It's going to be a sweep. And it'll pick up more than the first down. Evan Walker with a big run up to the 30.
So Bev Facey choosing to pack it in, keeping it tight, and then using the speed to the edge. Requires a 1 block out there. He got his block and he got the first down. So good call by Bev Facey, keeping Shep inside. Great blocking at the point of attack, which resulted in the yards they needed.
Ball just inside the 30. They'll stick with the heavy package here on first down. Hand off to Westcott. And a strong run up the middle is going to get them about half the yards they need.
You can see here Shep doing a great job of getting into the backfield. Right there, they've got him cornered. They got outside, inside, but too many guys over pursue. We've got a missed tackle in the backfield to allow him to get 7 instead of probably a -1, -2. 6 or 7, 6 yards on the carry.
2nd and 4. They'll fake the sweep and they'll go to Westcott again. And Westcott with another strong run between the tackles. Looks like he's got enough for the first down. He does.
You got that same sweep action there. A little bit of lead block out in front. Again, looking to gain the first down. So Bev Facey being nice and patient with their offense, knowing if they can just churn out some yards, get this run game going. And again, with a back who's already carried it over 500 yards this year, is going to put up some good numbers tonight if they can keep this run game going.
Ball's in the red zone. They're going to go to Westcott again. Another run between the tackles. Able to pick up 6. Power running game being shown off by the Falcons.
Well, we continue to watch that battle at the front 7 of the Ross Sheppard T-Birds and how they can handle this front 5 offensive line plus tight ends when they bring them in. And again, Bev Facey right now with the edge in the run game, just moving bodies in their backs, churning out yards here on this drive.
2nd and 4. Interesting that Facey, after going for it, decided to stay in that heavy package. This time they'll spread out 5 wide with 1 back. They'll go to the air, looking left. It's caught inside the 10-yard line. by Jack McIntyre. First down for the Falcons.
Yeah, I can see just settling down in the zone again, a little bit outside, so he goes to his knees. But great job, great concentration to bring that in, and looks like they gained the first down, so it's going to be first and goal. What looks to be right just inside, a few inches inside the 9-yard line. So 9 yards to go. Ben Facey looking for the major.
Handoff to Westcott. This time, he is met in the backfield. Took a while to bring him down. Tristan White picks up a big stop on first down.
You talk about the battle of the trenches there, and again, Ross Shepp winning that battle, getting into the backfield, tackle for the loss.
That will bring an end to the first quarter. We'll flip sides of the field and maybe grab a drink. Or eat a pizza, maybe. Make some cheese. We are back for the second quarter of action.
A little fresh pizza up in the box would be good right about now as that temperature continues to drop. It was gorgeous when we started the doubleheader on Friday night, and it's definitely dropping, and we'll see. Maybe we'll call someone to drop us off some pizza later on.
I don't think we have that kind of power. Some people get a microphone, they say they want a pizza, and they get it. The Falcons going for the end zone. Have a receiver nearly open at the back. They were looking for Caius Kropp. Couldn't quite find him. It'll be a third and goal from the 14.
Well, we can just throw it out there. You know, we're live on TV tonight. You know, everyone knows where the field is. If someone's feeling excited about sending pizza somewhere, I mean, we are here, and there's lots of fans here, I'm sure, that would get the pizza before it made it up to the broadcast booth. But we are enjoying some great football tonight, Friday night.
We basically have to hope that my mom and dad are watching and are feeling so generous. Just the type of generosity they've never shown before.
I was thinking maybe my wife's watching, not sure, but let's see.
It's going to be a field goal attempt here for the Falcons, looking to break the scoreless tie. "19-yard attempt. Kick is up. And it's pushed wide. See if Shepp wants to return it or whether they want to give up the single. It's going to be returned by Ben Miller. He's had a big return already. Multiple flags on the play. Miller's still not down somehow. Not really moving the ball up too far though, so it will be Shepp ball at the 10. It looked like the flags came on the return.
Yeah, we'll have to see how this is. Again, almost at the back of the end zone, but usually the rule is if you get it out of the end zone, you get it out to the 20 to encourage the return. So he gets it out, but this may get brought back because of the penalties, but just staying on his feet. And we've seen it before. Unfortunately, at the last home game for the Elks, we saw a missed field goal return for a touchdown. And I love charades, but I'm not quite good at to get it all there. But going against Ross Shepp, they've moved him back, looks like, to the 5-yard line. So likely a 15-yard penalty coming back from the 20, which is where they had it from bringing it out. And we'll see what Shepp can do. Still 0-0. Facey not able to break the tie at 0 right now. And we'll see what Shepp can do moving the ball.
Tell you what, we had a tight game earlier. Looks like we might be setting up for another one here. Quick pitch to the running back, Williams, who picks up a first down and more outside the 20.
Ron Williams just weaving his way through the blocking out in front of him. Again, tossed just by the post. Again, cuts it upfield, makes a couple guys miss and just moving it out. So, again, a relief right there for Ross Shepp's offense, getting a first down. What penalty cost them, moved them back a little bit. Now Shepp out a little bit further from their goal line.
There is a flag just outside the 5. And there's a discussion between the officials right now. They haven't moved the yardsticks yet, as they won't until that penalty's called anyways. And it looks like it's going to be a procedure against Ross Shepp. Now remember, that happened on their own 5. This could be a 2.5-yard penalty here if it brings it half the distance to the goal, but it'll wipe off a big run.
That's no end. You're working my lip reading skills. No end on Ross Shepp, and so again, that means they didn't have somebody on the line of scrimmage. So typically your formation has 5 linemen and 2 wide receivers that are on the line of scrimmage. If a wide receiver steps off, you need to bring someone else in, often next to the lineman, to be that extra guy. So with no end, that's a legal procedure moving them back, which is usually a 5-yard penalty. We'll see where they mark this ball. I believe they'll end up going half the distance, which, again, the good news is it's not the full 5 yards. The bad news is they just took away a nice run by their back.
It ends up being, in a way, a penalty of just over 20 yards here. And Ross Shepp now backed up on their own 2. Maybe an opportunity for this Falcons defense to break or scoreless tie. DeGraff in his own end zone. Oh, and you know, I always have waited for that to happen in Canadian football, and finally I get to see it as the ball goes off the uprights. Well, again, this is a challenge. He's a few yards further back. Again, tough. You're not really thinking about that, but that not helping Ross Shepp for sure. Do you teach your quarterbacks to try to throw to avoid the posts, or does that mess up timing and stuff too much? I've always wondered about that.
I teach my team not to be first down on our own 2.
That's where Shepp is now, second down at their own 2. DeGraff looking right. This time he'll avoid the goalpost, and that's a big play and a big hit delivered on Shooty. As Owen McNeil lowered the boom.
It's going to be really interesting on the spot. I think they got him a little bit short of the 15, which is going to be slightly short of the first down yardage needed. So this is going to be deep in their own end. Shepp, because he got kind of spun around. So I'm not sure exactly... Just slightly short. So this is that box play we're talking about. You can see Ross or Bev Facey getting ready for an interior run, maybe a quarterback sneak with only inches to go.
Late subs here for Ross Shepp, and
Ross Shepp
we're going to see a timeout.
Yeah, there we go. There's the timeout call. Shepp needs to bring their heavy guys in to counter what Bev Facey is going to try to stop. And of course, Bev Facey brings in some more meat in there to see what they can do to stop this. Huge play, really, early on in the game. Tied at 0. Facey unable to get points off the field goal. Shepp tied in their own end here by Facey, going for it, 3rd and inches.
And if they don't get it, Bev Facey is going to get the ball inside the red zone. Huge play here for both sides. Scoreless tie. Bev Facey gets the stop. They will already be well into field goal range.
Well, battle of the trenches, here it is. You get the yard between the offensive line and the defensive line. We'll see where this pile goes.
If you like glass eaters, this is probably the play for you. Tons of guys, everybody on the line of scrimmage. 3 backs for Ross Shepp. They're going to pitch it. A run to the outside, and it is good for the first down. Matthias Mullaney, I believe, on the carry.
Well, you can see 2 guys out in front, some big bodies there working to clean it up, and then again just lowering his head, keeping his legs going. Again, got lots more than he needed, but big play for Ross Shepp to keep that going. Facey's going to have to reset on defense, see if they can slow the team down.
They just needed a couple inches. They got a lot of them. 7 yards on the run and a fresh set of sticks. And the Thunderbirds can finally take a deep breath, at least for now. DeGraff, quick look right on the screen, and it's dropped by Aubrey.
So that common play, we had a chance to talk a little bit about that earlier in this game. We talked about in the first game, just a wide receiver screen, get the blockers out in front. He's got to keep his focus there, secure that. Again, Bev Facey looked like they were right there anyways, but you want to secure that catch, keep your eyes on the ball, give yourself an opportunity. So 2nd and 10.
Thunderbirds need the whole 10. Look to the left, DeGraff over the middle, and it's intercepted. Return to the 20. Huge play for the Falcons.
He goes 22, Tegan Powlick. He has had 40 solo tackles, 10 assisted tackles, and 9 tackles for a loss, and 1 interception coming into that game. So adding to that total, a 2nd interception. Again, tough for Ross Shepp. Again, thrown into double coverage there. Again, just undercut by the linebacker there. and then a very active linebacker over the course of the years, getting some payback there, getting that pick.
Huge play for Tegan Pollock. Returns the ball just to the red zone on the 20. There was a bit of a scrum after the play. I was a little bit surprised to see no flags there. Passed out to the outside to LQ. Staying on his feet and dragged right kind of where the first down stick was. And they will mark him at the 9, 1st and goal.
Well, LQ on the year has had 23 receptions, 223 yards, and a touchdown, but he's also a bigger receiver. Again, another young individual I had the opportunity to coach over the winter with the Selects program, but they ask him to do a lot. You can see right now they've got him lined up at the tight end spot. He also runs out of the slot, and he does a lot of blocking as well as receiving, so very multifaceted in what he does and what they expect from him as a football player.
Hand off and a run up the middle. Lucas Westcott tackled inside the 5.
You can see there with the tight end in there, he's allowed to step in and seal the edge, allowing that tackle to pull and go through the hole where the running back is going. So creating space for their backs. Looking at a 2nd and goal from the 5.
We'll hand it off again. Westcott met in the backfield, flag down, and play blown dead. Looked like Francis McKell who was in on the tackle, and we'll check the flag. It's going to be against Bev Facey.
You saw the holding right there. Camera guy got number 61, just dragged the defensive lineman down. So still no Mike. So penalties declined. It's going to be 3rd down. So it looks like field goals coming out. Bev Facey with their 2nd field goal attempt, trying to break the 0-0 tie here with 7:55 in the 2nd. So a low-scoring game, a close game, just unable to generate points for these offenses. We'll see if this field goal team can change that.
Ethan Thompson from the 14-yard line. No easy field goal attempt in high school football.
Definitely not.
Thompson kick is up and made that one look easy. First points of the game for Bev Facey, who take the lead 3-0.
Yeah, good execution. Lots needs to happen. Obviously, the protection, the snap, the hold, everything looking good right there. Well executed by Bev Facey to get the first 3 points of this matchup here between the Birds. The Birds matchup.
It is a battle of the birds, isn't it?
That's right.
Thunderbirds or Falcons?
That's right.
What is a Thunderbird?
Well, there's a picture of it on the screen.
It looks
for our
scary.
viewers, yeah, it does. A lot of tradition in Ross Shep there, and again, that's a traditional image that they've held as one of their logos over the years. Again, you've seen teams change logos, adapt logos, still holding on to tradition. Ross Shep with lots of them. Maybe a little tidbit of information on the tradition in Ross Shep. A famous Edmonton Oiler, Wayne Gretzky, attended Ross Shep for some time back in the day. So an alumni of the high school there, spent some time there. Not, I think, his whole high school career, but did spend time there before he obviously made his mark in the Edmonton community here with the Oilers.
I think you might have heard of him before, at least. I don't know how many people at home are going to know that name.
Maybe a few.
Kickoff, taken out of the end zone by the Thunderbirds. Rather on the 20, not the end zone. And Andy Lena will return it just outside the 40.
Well, Lena coming with some speed for sure. Again, I love what I'm seeing so far in this return game. Again, you don't typically want to see your kickoff return too much, but once he gets this, he just hits this really, really hard. So again, you can see some seams in there, and again, he's able to make a couple guys miss, and then he ends up running to his own guy. Again, with that kind of head of speed, a little bit of work there, it could break that one. So we'll watch that throughout the night. Talented return team for the Ross Shep T-Birds. Their offense is on the field, looking to respond to the field goal.
Another handoff up the middle to McConnell, and it'll be a pickup of 3. That was Mulaney, rather.
You see some big bodies in there on our replay shot there. Just lots of bodies moving, trying to create space, trying to give their back the opportunity to hit a big one. So we'll see what they do here on 2nd and 7.
Passing play to Graff. Looking for Mulaney. Has some room in front of him and taken down hard.
Great open field tackle again, too, right at the position where, again, he's kind of getting close to that first down marker and just stops him in his tracks at 2 yards short right there. Good fundamental tackle, wraps up, takes him down, forcing a punting situation here for Ross Shepp. Another step, another yard, and I'm guessing Ross Shepp is going to go for it, but in this case, they're short 2, and they're not willing to take that risk here where they are. But we got some excitement here.
Oh my goodness, we got some sort of trickeration. They're gonna throw it out left.
He's got some work.
And he's churning his legs. He's gonna have the first down and more. Vasilcic with the play of the game for the Thunderbirds so far.
Well, not perfectly as designed, but executed well enough. You can see here, you got a blocker on the inside. A good job of knifing through. They had him wrapped up, refusing to go down, working hard, just fighting, no wrapping up, and he gets the yard. So big play by the Ross Shepp punt team. I love the creativity and the movement they show here.
Well, I was wondering, I didn't think that Mark Bushinsky and the Thunderbirds were really going to punt it away, but they bring out the punting unit. Fake. And then a great effort to get them the first down, but now they're going to be stuck in a 2nd and 10 from the Bev Facey 50.
Yeah, and trying to find him on the little under route. You can see here out of the bunch formation, he just delays and comes under. But again, you can see Bev Facey getting lots of hands up, forcing him just a little bit of a higher release point to get it out of the backfield. Wasn't able to find his receiver behind the big bodies that were getting their hands up. You can just see there a great shot of the size of the defensive lineman of Bev Facey, really tall. If you can't get to the quarterback, get your hands up, take away his passing lanes.
They need the full 10. Here's DeGraff. Over the middle. Caught by Mulaney and Ross Shepp. Just a gain of a couple. It'll be 3rd down.
See what they got on special teams this time. Again, there's a little bit of a distance here to go for the T-Birds punt team. I don't know if I can call them the punt team anymore. They're not going to punt the ball. It's just a different look of offense. So
special teams,
we'll see, I guess, right? Some type of special teams unit. So we'll see what they do here.
Well, they don't have a punter on the field. This is more trickeration. 3 linemen, now 4. Are they just trying to draw them offside? There's guys running everywhere. Now there's a punter there. And they look like they will punt this one away. A flag on the play. And this might be a procedure as they run out of time. That was a lot of movement. Was that, I don't think that was confusion though. Was that them trying to draw someone offside?
They may have something in the design that they can run out in the regular punt formation and adjust to a fake, or run out in the fake formation and adjust to the punt. So, one way or the other, it was procedure. Not everybody was set, and they didn't have the right number on the line. But again, it can be done by design. Obviously not executed as they were hoping there, but definitely something that they're going to chat about. It does look like there's conversation going on here, trying to sort out exactly what's going on. So sometimes too complicated can catch yourself. Here we go.
Well, when we go back to the wide shot here, there's a lot more going on once again. 2, 3, 4, 7 players on the left side, and it's probably a timeout by the Thunderbirds now. You just never know what to expect in high school football, and a lot of the times punt plays aren't just punt plays.
But I love the approach though, Ross Sheppard. Again, the season's going to be over after tonight. They're up against number 10 ranked team in the province at the top tier, and they're in a game. They're in a ball game here, and so they're using the different things. And so often you will see these types of plays on special teams or even on the offense or defense where you're trying to catch the other team sleeping a little bit and seeing if they've done their film work, or maybe it's something you haven't shown all year, and like, hey, let's try this out. So again, good opportunity to get some excitement, to turn the momentum. Again, 3rd and 13. It's a long ways to go for a fake punt, and as a defensive coordinator or a special teams guy, I would be like, what I would call is a punt safe. So you want to have rush You want to have some pressure into the backfield, but you definitely don't want to sell out and give up something where you've already done. Defense has done a great job of stopping this drive. Let's force them to punt and get the offense back on the field for Bev Facey.
As a play-by-play commentator, I love it. Gives us something to talk about. Punt is away and will be fielded on the 25 by Bev Facey, taken just outside the 30, where Caius Kropp gets hauled down and leaves way for Ramika and the Falcons offense.
So Kai is doing a fair bit of punt returns this year. Again, number 88. He's got 17 returns for 200 yards coming into this game for a high school player. So used often, doing a great job returning the ball, 200 yards. And a few more there to add on to that number.
Ball on the 32 for the Falcons offense. Just one field goal. They had another field goal attempt that missed. That's all the offense in the game so far. Good run here on first down for Evan Walker, who should have enough for the first down.
Connor Reed, number 10, makes the tackle.
Little shotgun toss pass again. Blockers out in front. It's a great job when you see receivers downfield blocking and maintaining those blocks. That's always the hardest thing, is you got to keep your feet moving, then maintain the block. Because as soon as a DB gets outside of your frame as a receiver, if you're still holding on to a jersey, that's when you're going to see that flag and you're going to move it back 10 yards. But good job of the Bev Facey Falcons receiving corps doing a great job blocking for their back.
Ball at the 44, another run between the tackles is going to go for about a yard there for Walker. Good job by the Thunderbirds D-line.
You know, we're seeing patience and balance in the execution of Bev Facey. Again, not changing their game plan yet. Again, a little bit trouble for both these teams getting points, as we see with the 3-0 score. But again, patience for Bev Facey, looking to use this drive and get some points here. 3:32 left in the first half. Time's ticking away with this run game for both these teams and the plays that are getting called.
Anthony Berg in on the tackle, 2nd and 9. Flag on the plate, second flag down, and Caius Kropp makes a nice play. Boxes out the cornerback and comes down with the ball. Good for a first down, but with 2 flags on the play.
We'll see if someone got going a little bit earlier. A little bit of a hitch and go, kind of gave him a jump ball, but good job of adjusting. We'll see.
Initial indication here is against the Falcons.
Yeah, looks like they're marching it back here, so get the call.
Offside. Facey, number 7. It's a 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
So still a second opportunity here on 2nd down to gain the yards after the first one called back on the penalty. We'll see what Facey decides to do.
2nd down and 14.
Now they move the ball back to the 40-yard line. 2nd and 14.
Ball's on the 40, they need the 54. Ramika stays in the pocket, gets hit, stays up for a second, and on the hit, there is a flag. Not sure if it was on the hit. Also could have been in the area of holding. Big call coming up.
Yeah, huge call coming up because a massive play for Ross Shepp. You can see the stunt up front by the interior lineman. Again, no one open in time. Coming down.
55 had a flag came out later than
I think he may have got his face mask. We'll get the call here. Let's see what's going on. They're going the wrong direction for Ross Shepp. Interesting call, and again, we didn't hear it all, but it was unnecessary roughing the passer. So really interesting that it's a roughing the passer call. Must have been something on the tackle because he was there to get the sack. Unfortunately, didn't finish properly.
Fresh set of downs for Bev Facey. Quick pitch out to Walker, who kind of stumbled on his own 45 and gets touched down. Loss of 5.
Well, the footing seemed to be a problem on his break as he tried to cut up field. You can see right there, just a little bit of a slip. When you get your feet too far outside your frame, that can create just unsettled surface and you can slip. And now as the temperature continues to drop, it's getting a little bit cooler. Again, not below temperatures, but again, the surface can change as we get into these colder times. Again, obviously with moisture that makes a difference, but even with the temperature change, working a little bit differently. He's going to want to keep his body, above his legs frame.
2nd and 15, pass over the middle, have a man open, and it's going to be right near the sticks. Jack McIntyre marked down at the 50. It'll be a 3rd and inches.
Good job. You can see Ross Shepp just a little bit softer than they probably need to be. A little bit too far. And again, they're close enough that Facey feels like they're going to go with it with their front linemen there. Their Hoggies going to work here. We'll see. Because last time they were in a short yardage situation, they opted for the sweep to the edge, as did Ross Shepp. We saw that in their last drive. We'll see if they decide to go up the middle on 3rd and less than a yard, or if they go to the edge again.
2.5 minutes left in the half. Big play. Quarterback sneak up the middle. And it looks like Ramika has enough. And Bev Facey's sideline wants a flag for how Ross Shepp finished that tackle. They're not going to get one, but Bev Facey gets the first down.
Well, his forward momentum definitely got him the yardage there. You can see good push by the lineman. Again, just the piles moving that direction. The finish was good to stop it, but Bev Facey made the play they need to, got the movement they needed. First down.
Timeout on the field here. You can hear Bev Facey's sideline calling for it. So 3-0 with 2:07 left to play in the 2nd quarter. It doesn't feel like a 3-0 game. I mean, it doesn't feel like there's been more points, but usually 3-0 games are kind of boring.
Yeah,
This one's had some pace to it.
Well, both teams have been able to move the ball at times, some of them costing penalties, and Facey, of course, a couple opportunities to score, only came away with a field goal once. So we'll see. With 2:07 left, Facey has time to move the ball, but also doesn't want to be careless with the clock and give Shepp one more opportunity on offense. So again, trying to get some points here before the half, facing 1st and 10 inside the Shepp 50. Clock's on the hold.
We'll go to the air. Ramika to the out route. Hauled in by Carson Elkew. Had some running room in front of him. He'll get to the 36, 1st and 10.
So good job just getting it out into space for your receiver. Again, he got him on the out. Again, he continues to the outside. And what I would say here is to get yourself out of bounds now. If you can get to that sideline and stop the clock, just a little more, conserve that time, give them a few more plays. They've got time, but every second counts here as you're driving to see if they can extend this lead.
Clock will tick down under a minute 50. They'll fake the handoff and go to the screen instead to the same guy, Westcott. And a pickup of about another 10. We're right around the sticks once again.
Well, a little bit of a different look on the screen. You can see there he runs. He's coming underneath it, so usually that's like a shovel pass, and so they often see that play action to him, shovel coming back underneath. So great execution of getting that over top of the defensive lineman of Ross Shepp, still into his hands to give him some space to go. So clock is on the move here now. Facey again. It's an interesting management of the clock time. You want to score, but you don't want to waste too much time to put yourself under pressure, but you don't want to leave any time for Shepp.
First set of sticks. Another handoff to Westcott, runs it between the tackles, picks up a couple. Thunderbirds D-line will win the route.
And again, Facey doesn't want to get too conservative. Again, I don't mind the run game. They've got the time to do it. But again, you want to make sure you don't have to settle for another field goal attempt. Struggled, missed one, hit one today. If they can get the major, be a big lift going into the half here for the Bev Facey Falcons.
I'm going to put a star next to Tristan White's name. I think it's the 3rd time I've called his name on a stop of the run. He's a monster at nose tackle for the Thunderbirds. 2nd and about 8 or 9. The pass was high and somehow hauled in. And a flag on the play. Jack McIntyre, not only did he make the catch to pick up a few yards, but if that ball sails him, I think it's intercepted.
Yeah, I think it is, and I think the DB was expecting it, and again, couldn't, but again, ended up leading. I think contact with his helmet hit the head. Like again, when you make a tackle, it's your job as a defensive player to avoid that helmet-to-helmet contact. And we're going to get a great shot right as he turns upfield. The first thing to make contact is the crown of his helmet on the face mask. That's going to cost him.
So that should give a first down. It is an unnecessary roughness on the hit. That will give a first down. Looks like 1st and goal now. as the ball is placed at the 6. So there's unnecessary roughnesses. They're not half the distance to the goal. They will give the 15 or put it at the 1.
Yeah, well, I don't think that was half. I think that was a full 15 they gave them from where the incident occurred. And so they are knocking on the doorstep.
Ball just outside the 5. Big plays here, just under a minute left in the half. It'll be the quarterback taking it himself, pushing the pile forward, right next to the goal line, on the doorstep, but not through the door. Stopped at the 1.
There comes an extra few backs on the field with it being down on the 1. Bev Facey, I think at this point in time, if they don't get it on second down, I think you go for it on third. I think right now the opportunity is there for 7. I think they've got to take a chance twice. If they don't get on first down, but you can see the backs in there. They've got tight ends lined it up. It's a heavy set. Only 2 receivers, 1 in motion.
White's lined up over the left guard. He's popped a couple times. Run to the left and into the end zone. Touchdown, Lucas Westcott.
So touchdown number 8 for Westcott in behind the solid offensive line play by the Bev Facey Falcons. You can see just bodies getting moved and then finding that last little bit of space to sneak in there. So great execution with minimal time left moving down the field. 28 seconds on the clock. Enough for Rochette for a crack, but again, great job by Bev Facey using the clock, marching the field. Unfortunately, penalty aided. Again, a good defensive play, but again, you just can't lead with your head. We need to keep the game safe and avoid those types of collisions.
Didn't look like anything intentional there, though, at all. Just looked like more incidental. Game's played at a high speed, right?
Well, it sure is, yeah. And none of these guys are going to be intentional on those types of things. I mean, I would say back in the day, there's maybe a little bit more of that where you're not trying to hurt, but you're definitely trying to make an impact. But in a case like that, he's just got to make sure he gets his head out of the way, drives through, wraps up through the body. Still can be a very impactful tackle. But again, he's got to make sure that he gets his head out of the way. And that's the responsibility of the defender. And that's where they put that onus on defender to make sure you're tackling properly, make sure you're hitting guys properly. But, always exciting is the Rochette return team. We've seen some almost return, some good return yardage. We'll see what they have dialed up here for this return team. And Bev Facey obviously going to counter with their cover team, not wanting to give up anything to take this 10-0 lead into the half. 28 seconds left.
Ben Miller, one of the return men for the Thunderbirds, has returned a kick to midfield already in this game. He's one of their most dynamic athletes, has 4 picks on the season.
I'd be surprised they kick away from him here.
That is Miller. He'll take the ball just inside his own 25. Tries to cut it to the outside. Not a ton of room. Really a good job just to get near the 35 there for Miller. 22.4 seconds for the Rochette offense.
Well, again, angling it to the sideline there, and seeing this again, the fact that he's waiting for that ball to let it bounce is just allowing that coverage to come down and break down. We often talk to returners about what they need to do to make it more effective, and catching that on the fly, it's a little more of a risk because you're coming up on the shorter kick, but you want to catch it on the fly because if you can get it sooner, the blocks and the timing works a little bit better. So we'll see if they can make that adjustment on returns in the second half. But Shep's got 22 seconds, working with a bunch left formation.
See if they just try to run the ball. They are going to go to the screen. Ball was still in the air for a couple seconds there. It was sitting on a heel. Pass was intended for Andy Lehman. We got a bit of pushing and shoving after the play. It's getting a little chippy down on the field.
Again, a different variety of a wide receiver screen, but as it came off his hands, it hit the defender. Again, you said it bounced around a little bit too long for Rochette. They don't want to give a turnover here with only a couple seconds left. They got to actually use a little bit of time here. If I'm Bev Facey and they don't get a first down, I'm calling a timeout and forcing them to punt it away, give myself an opportunity.
Going to be a run, and it was nearly a fumble on the pitch. And Mulaney just tried to corral that one, make sure that ball didn't end up on the ground. There's 13.7 seconds left in the half. See if the Falcons elect to use a timeout.
Well, with no timeout left, it looks like, not sure if they have any timeouts left in this one, so they may just let this one wind down. And
now, in our last game, the clock hit zeros. They snapped the ball and still punted it away, even though they could have taken a knee. You never know And this time, the Thunderbirds, like I said, they could just take a knee here. They don't have to punt it away, but we did see it last game.
Well, you just want to make sure executed properly. Make sure there's zeros on the clock. Once you get your zeros, take your knee.
Clock hits zeros, knee is taken, and that'll do it for the first half here from Johnny Bright Park. Rob, Thunderbirds offense not able to put up any points on the board, but still in the game down by just 10.
Yeah, and again, a decent half, I think, for the Thunderbirds hanging in there with the Facey Falcons, doing as well as they are this year. But the T-Birds need to get that offense going. They're going to talk that through at the half with the coaches.
Falcons take a 10-0 lead into the locker room. The Sport, Physical Activity and Recreation branch of the Ministry of Tourism and Sport with the Government of Alberta is a funding provider to the ASAA. The funds received from this area of the government are put towards enhancing the quality of life for Albertans. Falcons up by 10, headed into the break. Game 2 of the ASAA Game of the Week doubleheader here from Johnny Bright Sports Park. Bev Facey Falcons facing off against the Ross Sheppard Thunderbirds. Falcons taking a 10-0 lead into the second half. Connor Toffin joined by Rob Harrod on this ASAA Live Procast. We are in the second game. It's been a good night of football so far. One more half remaining, Rob.
Well, and Shep hanging around, although they haven't been able to find a win, and they're 0-6 in the standings at the bottom. Facey second from the top at 4-2 with a number of other teams that are tied. AOB 4-3, Paul Kane 4-2 looking to win, and Sal 4-2. So a lot at stake still here for some of those teams as they play the last Friday night of regular season football here in Edmonton. But Bev Facey at 4-2, near the top behind Harry Ainley, of course, at 6-0. Ross Shep trying to break that trend that they've had this year. Really, again, we talked about the young team and what they need to build. Hanging in there with the big dogs here tonight in Bev Facey. They've been on both ends where they've been the big dog, and now their opportunity here is as they build, they're striving to compete with the top teams in the league. So looking forward to a great second half. We saw a good one in the first. See it here, how it goes and plays out tonight.
Bev Facey will receive the opening possession in the second half. Caught at their own 20. And Polyuk brings it up to just about the 30-yard line where they will bring out the offense.
Well, great job by the cover team here. You can see nice kick, good solid contact there, good catching it in the air as we talked about in the first half. But again, the cover team just not giving them the seam. Nice contact there, putting the offense on the field inside their 30.
One touchdown on the game so far for the Bev Facey offense. Came with under a minute in the second half. Quick screenplay out to the left. Reeled in by Rivanen, I believe, on the far side. A little tough to catch a number. It'll be a short gain of a couple.
Good job by the defense there. Again, they recognize early it's the screen. They don't over pursue, but they're in perfect position, really not giving the receiver any way to go. So again, limiting the gain to just a yard, forcing Bev Facey into a second and long.
Flushed out of the pocket is Remicah. Found a receiver, looked like it for a moment. He was looking for Carson Elkew, and in to defend it was Corbin Finnegan.
Well, Finnegan doing a great job just closing down, and we're going to get a chance here as he's coming across the field. Again, he sees a little bit of a window, but then he's a little bit of a burst, closes that space, and the ball a little bit behind him. He gets it out in front. He may have himself a completion, but again, just enough behind him so the DB can get a great knockdown without the pass interference call, without any extra contact. He's able to get his hands on the ball. So Facey early on here in the third, forced into a punting situation.
I seen Finnegan celebrating. It was actually Ben Miller, possibly Ross Shep's best defensive back. Got the pass break up. Falcons will have to punt it away. Shep nearly got the block. Kind of forced a bit of a short punt, though. It's bouncing back towards Bev Facey. They touched the ball before Ross Shep could ever recover it. And so flags down immediately.
When it looked like Bev Facey
Unless
jumped
that was the
on
punter.
No, I don't know. Is that? Yeah, it was the punter. Yep, that's
him
him.
running up the middle, and he's allowed to touch the ball. 90 here would be onside.
So he had a shot at it?
He had a shot.
Yeah.
So usually what happens is Ethan Thompson will jump on the ball there, the punter, and the ref will throw the flag, and then they'll go back and talk it over, right?
Fraction for no yards. Number 90 was the kicker. Ross Shep recovered.
Yeah, opportunity was there for Bev Facey to make a play, and sometimes on a really short punt they'll blow it dead for safety reasons, but in that case it bounced around enough, and Shep needed to get on that. Bev Facey couldn't quite get it, and Ross Shep is on the field.
Run up the middle, taken down to the line of scrimmage. Parker McConnell able to pick up maybe one.
Yeah, some tough running yards tonight. Again, you can see contact early on in the backfield there, just allowed taking his feet out from underneath him, not able to get going. Again, he's capable. If he has a seam, he can hit it with speed. But in that case, the front 7 is doing their job for Facey.
Second, and we'll call it 9. DeGraff, quick look out right, finds Chudy on the screen, but nothing there once again. This Bev Facey defense has been swarming.
Well, and Miller flying out there from the middle linebacker spot again, just outrunning the blockers there. He takes his step inside, does a great job. Good fundamental tackle. You can see there he gets his head out, and that's what we were talking about, that penalty in the first half. When your head is leading into someone else's head, that's dangerous. But great fundamental tackle to snuff out anything there on the Ross Shep drive.
Looked like that might have been Hayden and Selmo. Loss of a couple. Thunderbirds punting unit back onto the field. And that one kicked out of bounds just inside the 20-yard line. Another chance for the Falcons offense to take over.
Out of bounds at the 19-yard line.
The Shep just, that offense continue to struggle to move the ball consistently. They usually get a couple first downs and then they stall out. Bev Facey doing a good job on defense, kind of containing the offense of Ross Shep. So we'll see, deep in their own end, inside their own 20 here, Bev Facey gets another opportunity on offense to add to the 10-0 lead they've built.
Offense will start at the 19-yard line. Is that Carson Elkew at quarterback? Didn't notice anything on the first drive. Elkew now in at quarterback, and his pass to AJ Ramika, who was playing quarterback in the first half,
well,
is incomplete.
We've seen Elkew play receiver. We've seen him play tight end. We've seen him in a blocking job a fair bit. Again, not a bad delivery of the ball. Just, you know, he's got to go down and secure that. But, yeah, interesting.
Wonder if we missed that in the first drive. So Elkew in at quarterback. Backfield will stay the same with Lucas Westcott back there. And looks like Elkew's going to run the offense here, at least for the time being. Took a look downfield, couldn't find anyone, flushed out of the pocket, and there's a completion to Ramika across the 30. Might have been Jack McIntyre. Couldn't quite catch the number.
Well, good job here again. The pockets collapse. He gets himself out of trouble with his legs, keeps his eyes downfield, and as soon as the backer steps up to take care of him as a runner, again, just over top of his head, first down, Facey.
13-yard gain, first and 10 now for the Falcons. Ball at the 33-yard line.
Ramika in as a tight end on the snap. Handoff will go to Westcott. Takes it to the 35, gain of a couple.
It's going to be interesting to see with a different quarterback in there how much they're going to run the ball versus put the ball in his hands. Obviously, they called a pass play earlier on, and he made a nice little play with his legs and his arm. We'll see if that trend continues, and the trust lies there to throw the ball.
2nd and 8. Elkew scans left, finds Ramika across the 40, gets hit hard before he could get the first down yardage. It'll be a 3rd down and a couple.
Yeah, at least 2, maybe 2.5. So Bev Facey not wanting to take the risk at this place in the field with a 2-score lead, 10-0. They're looking to line up to punt this. I mean, you never know in high school football in these games. The special teams has been pretty active over the course of the night with different plays and different formations. We'll see if Bev Facey plays it safe and just punts this one away and relies on their defense, which so far has been doing a great job to keep Ross Shep off the scoreboard.
It is a 3rd and 2, and now under center. Bev Facey's going to fake the fake and line back up as punters, but looks like they ran out of time.
Took a little too long to fake the fake.
Violation. See, number 90. That's a 5-yard penalty.
Well, a little less movement on the fake.
A little bit.
But Ross Shep showed us, like everybody going all different directions. I don't even know if the refs were able to count the number of guys on the field in that case, but Bev Facey with a little bit of movement. Again, that's why we talked about, is that planned, is it unplanned? Well, they clearly come out and have designed movements to see what the defense does. If the defense does something they like, they'll execute a fake. If not, again, same thing. Again, kind of lining up, checking, okay, what are they going to do? Are they going to adjust?
Ross Shepp's going to get the ball back here, down by 10. Really good punt here. Backs the returner up to his own 25. Shooting across the 40. Makes a couple miss. And finally brought down to the 50-yard line.
No, a great return, a great punt, but a great return. And sometimes you can almost out-punt your coverage. I mean, that wasn't necessarily the case here, but what a great punt. Lots of hang time. Those blockers need to set their blocks a little bit deeper. But again, what a great job of finding the seam, just sneaking through there.
Illegal block. Ross Shepp, number 21. 10-yard penalty. First down.
So that great return wiped out by an illegal block. They're walking the ball way back to the 25.
Yeah, it must have happened early in that return. Really unfortunate for Ross Shepp. Again, didn't have a bunch of guys back there, but a little bit of caught him a little bit in the back, and I think we'll likely catch it here. I think it's right there, kind of in the middle of our screen, a little bit in behind. Again, puts his hand on his back, thinking that's maybe where the call came.
Bit of a juggle on the snap there for DeGraff, and he kind of just turns around and throws it away.
I think they're trying to run the wide receiver screen again, but because it took so long, by the time he looked back to the screen, defender's right there. So really wise decision, just, hey, get it into the turf. Interesting, no receiver in the area. Could have been grounding, but they didn't call it. Again, the receiver was close enough. But again, great job by Bev Facey to recognize the wide receiver screen and take advantage of the snap that was off to his left.
DeGraff flushed out quickly, throws on the run, and that ball hit the ground. Another incompletion will bring up a 3rd and 10.
So they marked that as complete. I think it
Maybe they
skipped,
did.
but
Unless they're saying it hit the hand.
I think they gave him I think it's only a yard of your 1 yard completion, but I think they did maybe give it to him. Yeah, they did. It looks like got a couple yards on that. I think the angle, because he was on the ground, it was hard for the official on the side to see through, but get a shot here again.
Kind of inconsequential anyways.
Really is. Skipped it into him. The one hopper there. Man,
It might have hit his hand. I don't know. You can kind of see the hand move a little bit as the player was sweeping across the screen.
It's one of those inconclusive evidence to confirm or deny. So whatever the call on the field is probably the call you stay with if we were going to replay.
It would be one of those that was a lot more interesting if that catch was in the end zone.
Yeah. Or for a first down, or for many situations. But a 2-yard catch on a 3rd and 10 doesn't play.
If they fake it here and they get it to the 31, I'll take the 36 rather. I'll take everything back I just said. But they will punt it away. Bev Facey, couple players kind of in on the return there, nearly collide. Ended up being taken cleanly by Crop. No return. Fortunate
to make sure that does happen. Again, usually you try to get the communication, but again, when you're outdoor on a football field, sometimes you can't hear it. Both guys come in, secured nonetheless, but not much for the return. So good coverage by Ross Shepp. Again, doing a good job hanging around there with the Bev Facey Falcons, but unable to find points tonight yet.
So Bev Facey feels like they've kind of controlled the tempo with this game, but Ross Shepp just hanging around. Defense has played really strong for the Thunderbirds in this one. Bev Facey will start this drive with pretty good field position at the 54. Quick swing pass out to the left side and down in midfield. Another win for this Thunderbirds defense.
Yeah, LQ back in at quarterback again, receiver with lots of yards this year, over 200 yards this year receiving. And obviously getting some reps at quarterback. I didn't see his quarterback numbers, but obviously taking some reps this year. It's good to have a veteran back there if your starter goes down, able to run through the offense, operate the offense. We'll see what he does here on 2nd and 9.
It's not often you see a quarterback get taken out as a quarterback and stay on the field. Here's an overthrow. It was nearly picked off. Looked like Kenyon Ironmonger got his fingers on it. Couldn't quite reel it in. Let's see.
Very, very comfortable in the backfield, and the delivery kind of just went across his face. Not sure if he didn't see it or wasn't able to make a play on it, but yeah, missed opportunity there for Shep, just in and out of the hands. Tough on those ones because you're kind of thinking, yeah, I got to make a play on the player because he's close enough, but he doesn't touch it, and then all of a sudden, surprise balls, hitting you in the hands and trying to secure that, but punt team's out.
Ball at midfield. Punt's a really good one. Down to the 15, off the returner, tipped into the end zone, and Ben Facey is going to score. Cohen Powell picks up the fumble and puts Ben Facey up by 16.
Well, the worst of all scenarios, the returner steps up to get the punt, but doesn't come close enough, and then he ends up touching it. So you can see here, he's adjusting well, he just doesn't quite get under it, and then it bounces, touches his hands, and then it's bobbling around. So interesting how close he was when that initial touch happened, because he may have been inside that 5-yard halo, but again, officials didn't catch him if he was, and again, turns out to be special teams touchdown. We talked about the excitement special teams has created. This time, it was the punt cover team for Bev Facey coming up with a big play for a touchdown.
Extra point from Ethan Thompson is up and good. There is a flag on the play. My other question I had is on a fumble, and this is a rule I haven't seen in a long time, so you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought you weren't allowed to hit the ball forward at all.
Well, it's hard to see if he actually hit it or if it hit a Shep guy, and I think that's the challenge here. You can see it touches his hands
Powell's
for sure.
Arms. He
Too
kind
many
of hits it
players.
forward.
Ross Shep. That 10-yard penalty will be applied on the kickoff. Convert's good.
I mean, it worked. Smart play by Powell.
I think because it was a loose ball and both players were going for it and reaching for it, maybe it didn't have the action, intentional action to hit it forward, just reaching for it, it ends up going in that direction. So yeah, you're typically not allowed to hit it forward and then go recover it, but in that case, loose ball, multiple hands in the picture there, clearly wasn't defined as one of those.
Realistically, if you were going to argue that from the perspective of Powell, and there was a penalty on the extra point there, so extra point's going to stay, but they're going to kick off from the midfield instead. The argument there would probably be that your hand is coming in to get the ball. Like, you see so many players get one-handed catches, so it's really the same motion, right?
Yeah,
so
it is.
Probably a good no call there. Just wanted to bring it up because someone at home was probably thinking about that. So Ethan Thompson to kick off from midfield. Wonder if you might think about an onside kick here.
Well, maybe keeping it away from the returns. They got some dynamic returners back there.
They will keep it away from Ben Miller, and that one touched out of bounds by Andy Lena, who couldn't quite handle the kickoff, and it'll be Ross Shep ball at the 16.
Yeah, again, a little bit shorter, trying to reduce the gain, which they obviously did, unable to handle it. You can see the little skip, though. And again, with the temperature dropping, we saw one of the backs slip a little bit earlier in the game. That the way the ball bounces starts to change as well. It's almost like this skip, and you see that often in the winter when it gets to frozen conditions and snow. But I think the turf is changing a little bit more slick. You can see how the ball bounced there. So Ross Shep stuck on their 16 with the starting position for this drive, which they need to get something going here. Down 17.
3:45. Now down to 3:33 left in the third quarter. Run goes right up the middle for a few.
Back to the run game, I think. Again, keeping it balanced is important for Ross Shep at this point in time, but they are going to need to put some first downs together here. Move this ball out of their end and hopefully get some points for Ross Shep.
Another swing pass out to the right and met immediately. Big tackle there for Tegan Polliak, who's had a good game tonight.
On good response, getting out to the swing pass, reading it early and timing. Really good timing there. Ball arrives, tackles made.
So it ends up being another loss here, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 12 punt units back on the field.
This is about the position on the field. I was talking to you about the half when I was in a game once coaching, and my long snapper snapped it right into the uprights from about the exact same position. No one knew what to do and what that kind of happened. But Ross Shepp punting it out, gets it away cleanly.
Return starting at the 45. Ball was on the ground for a second. I wonder if that, you've been talking about the weather getting a little chillier. Wondering if that is causing some issues here, because multiple of the returns lately have ended up on the ground.
Well, we've been very fortunate to have some great weather, and it's another gorgeous day today, but cooling off for sure. Yeah, a little slicker, and it's interesting the dynamic of the football, and as the weather changes, how the football changes for players, and you sometimes adjust gloves, you adjust cleats in different conditions as well.
So they'll switch at quarterback again. AJ Romica back in. Bev Facey starting at the rush up 47. Screen play to Westcott, and that'll be stopped right at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, minimal gain on the screen again. Facey seeming to want to just use this clock to their advantage. They do have a little bit of an advantage here. You can see receivers downfield looking to pick up blocks if this gets sprung, but short gain, 2nd and long for Bev Facey.
Second and a full 10. Go to the air. Deep shot, and that one will land out of bounds. Another stop for the Thunderbirds defense as the Falcons punt unit runs onto the field.
Well, lots of protection in the backfield. You can see he's standing there, just a little bit overthrows as that one sails out of bounds. Still no wind. Flags are idle on the top of the upright, so again, just standing in there sometimes just gets away just a little bit from you. And also, Ross Shepp was dropping in the coverage there, so if he sees the coverage, doesn't like it, just getting it out of bounds. You don't want to give Ross Shepp anything they don't earn right now at this point in time in the game. Bev Facey in control with a 17-0 lead, and Ross Shepp struggling to get their offense on the move.
Snap hits the ground, but handled cleanly by the punter. And it will be fielded at the 10. Ball's on the ground again. And is Facey on it again? I think they are.
Yeah, indication they are again struggling to handle the punts. A deep punt, a nice punt. He skipped it off the ground again. It's a great job by the punter to be able to scoop that off the ground, but then it comes down. You can just see struggling to field that again, looking up into the lights. And that's another factor that as we get into the later time in the year, all of a sudden these guys are playing in darkness with lights. It's actually a different feel playing under the lights as opposed to the regular natural daylight, which they do most of the year until late in the season. So unfortunately, a special teams mix up there and the fumble hits the turf. Facey opportunity to get some points here.
Devin Waleschuk, almost a baseball slide there to slide in and grab that loose ball. Here's a run to the right side for Evan Walker. Has some room, crosses the goal line into the end zone. Touchdown.
Well, Bev Facey wasting no time after the turnover to get to the end zone and get the major. Again, a couple stalls earlier in the game. No way they're going to be denied at this point in time. So attrition just taking its toll here. And Facey out front blocking for their running back. Sprint to the end zone, extending their lead, giving themselves the opportunity going into the playoffs, getting that last win of the regular season. Again, playoffs are looming, and Bev Facey looks like they're preparing for that run in playoffs, both in the Metro League, but also the ASAA Provincials looking for an opportunity there.
Ethan Thompson on for the extra point. Snap was a little wide, but a good hold there from Owen McNeil. And the extra point is up and through. Well, we've seen a good running attack from the Falcons today, and they got some notable running backs that have gone on to play very high levels of football, including the starting running back for the Carolina Panthers, Chuba Hubbard.
Yeah, Chuba setting the dream for many high school athletes coming out of Alberta. You know, did a great job down in the U.S. in his college days, set the tone well of who he is as a running back, and obviously making a living right now in the NFL. There's nothing like getting paid to play a game that you've loved to play your whole life. And so Bev Facey, a couple great backs we're seeing on display here tonight as well.
It's always interesting in these high school games when you look back years down the road and you see where some of those players come from, you know, the CFL. And, you know, I just looking at it, I didn't realize how much Canadian talent was in the NFL right now. There's talent from Alberta in the NFL. I believe there's a couple players on the Chargers active roster right now coming from one of the schools down south. So you never know where guys are going to end up, and a lot of the times as this kickoff goes all the way to the goal line, not quite into the end zone, so Miller has to return it. He's going to turn wide here, get across the 5, somehow stay on his feet, and Miller doing a good job just to bring it outside of his own 10.
Yeah, a lot of running for just trying to buy himself some space down near his end zone. You can see here that it's just skipping. The ball is responding a little bit differently on the turf now that it's cooled off. So he picks it up, and out he comes. Got to find himself some space. So
you probably normally want to give up the point there, but that ball was right at the goal line. That wasn't Miller, actually. That was Aubrey. And then once he finally recovered, that might have been a safety if he touched the ball on the 1, so probably a smart choice to bring it out there all the way to the 12.
Yeah, and that would be a judgment call of where control was gained by the returner.
Run up the middle. And ball's on the ground, still loose. And a full pile. We have no chance to see who's on it. We'll see what the rest decide. Falcons ball.
Well, you could see as he goes into the pile here, you can see the defender come in. Right there, you can see the arm. He rips it out. Number 40 gets it out on the ground, and then it's bouncing around. Not sure who ended up coming up with the bottom of that pile. But what a great play. That's Dean Bolt. 23 solo tackles coming into the game, 11 assisted, and 3 tackles for a loss. Getting a forced fumble there to add to those numbers, and putting, again, Facey back on offense here deep in T-Bird territory.
Ross Shepp, number 4, had possession on the ground, and then Bev Facey stripped and recovered. It's 2nd down.
Good break for Ross Shepp's offense. Again, ruled down by contact, and it came out late. So officials right there to see that in the mix. And now we got a whole nother change because we got 2 offenses on the field. Be an interesting matchup.
Could be the last play of the 3rd quarter here with 5.9 seconds left. Clock should run on the whistle.
2nd and 2 from the 14-yard line.
Big 3rd quarter for Bev Facey. Again, just get up 10-0 at the half, but again, putting up 14 more off of turnovers. Ross Shepp, last play of the quarter, barring a penalty.
Be a run to the outside. Another chance for Parker McConnell. Doesn't get much. Going to be close to the sticks. They only needed a couple.
Quick speed, but again, just enough speed on the defense. Is able to get a hand on the jersey there and reduce that gain or limit that gain, forcing them now 3rd and what looks to be 1 based on the stick. So they're close. So interesting. Again, we've seen some great calls by the offensive coordinators here going for it, head coaches to go for it on 3rd and short. Ross Shepp facing that same situation here as we flip ends.
End of the 3rd quarter. Bev Facey up 24-0. We'll be right back.
Coming up now as we start.
One more quarter left of football.
Ball at the 17-yard line.
Here at Johnny Bray Park, 2nd game of the ASAA Game of the Week doubleheader. Thunderbirds at a 3rd and 1, down by 24. Have the punt unit on the field, and Bev Facey going to get the ball back. Unless we see a fake. Yeah, there we go.
Or is it?
I love this. So they made it earlier, and they will snap the ball. They're going to run it, and it's Ben Miller picking up the 1st down.
Well, really interesting decision. I like the call. I love the aggression by the coaching staff to go for it and take that risk. Interesting that the running back doesn't go in that direction to block. He actually goes across the formation and makes it just a one-on-one move out in the open space. But great job by Ross Shepp to execute that as well as they wanted to there. You can see right there. He's got to beat him, got to make a man miss. He does that, gets the first down for Ross Shepp.
Feels like that was just trust in your kick returner there to make someone miss. And the punting unit is back on the field on a 1st and 10. And this time, the Thunderbirds have all the numbers on the left side. Instead, Miller's going to run it, and he's somehow going to break free. Ben Miller is in the open field across the 40 and finally hit out of bounds. I have never seen a punting formation on 1st down and then a run of over 50 yards, I think.
Well, and it wasn't the design. You called it right. The design was to throw this away. Facey had everybody in the box, minus a few guys, but he doesn't like to throw. He takes off. He should be tackled for a loss. Makes it an outstanding play to get down the sideline and get himself deep into Facey territory. Great job. Maybe they need to keep that formation going. Facey struggling to adjust. And again, Ross Shepp moving the ball down the field.
Boy, oh boy. Ross Shepp in plus territory, maybe a bit of a spark to the sideline, and nearly was reeled in there by Basocic. It's out of bounds though.
Well, Ben Miller is talking to the coaches before the game. Ben Miller right there, we're getting a great shot. He just takes off. One of the best athletes, they said, on Ross Shepp and just making plays. Great defensive player, but obviously has his impact on special teams and clearly has some speed to impact moving the ball down the field as a special teamer.
Screenplay over the middle, and looked like there was a bit more running room there for Mulaney, but he's going to be stopped up just short. It'll be 3rd down, and they're probably going to have to go for it.
Yeah, definitely this spot of this field. I mean, they've been going for it all over. I love the aggression. I love the play calling by Ross Shepp and their coaching staff and what they've done here just to try to hang in with these. Again, the scores got a little out of hand with the 3rd quarter, getting 2 touchdowns by Facey off turnovers. But Ross Shepp not backing down, working hard here and getting this on the move.
Couple yards to go, they need him. Pass over the middle, and they were looking for Basocic. And incompletion, turnover on downs.
Just a quick strike here, again, trying to get it, and again, reading by the a little bit of contact early on. I saw it live, and I was like, oh, it looks like he's trying to jump, and he's not able to jump, but not enough contact to get a flag pulled. So Ross Shepp's defense takes the field. See if they can get a stand here against this Facey Falcons offense has been working on a short field, as longest field they've seen probably in a little while. They've been winning the battle of field position, but out they come outside their 20.
That is LQ back in at quarterback. Run over the middle, and a pickup that'll get at least most of the 1st down yardage. Might have gotten them the 1st down, and it is a 1st and 10.
Well, great hole you can see there when your back is 4 or 5 yards downfield before he's touched. That's great blocking up front. You can just see that Facey is wearing out this Ross Shepp front 7. You can see the size difference. That's a great shot there to see the size of the boys. And again, lots of offensive linemen coming out of Facey as well that have played in the CIS and the junior ranks. And there's another big hole.
Big run. Facey is setting the tone on the ground. Lucas Westcott.
You gotta love it when the Hoggies get a little bit of love on air. Their numbers not called a lot, but they are making big holes for the running backs for these Falcons.
Ball spotted at the 42, 14-yard gain. 47 rather. 4 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, with 1 back. Quick pass out to Ramika. Makes a couple miss. Sheds another tackler. Gets across the 50. And he's taken down. Now, I got to point out that play there, something on that play. That is the other quarterback. Nearly a backwards pass, and I wonder if that's something they'll look forward to maybe going into playoffs here, because he could throw that ball.
He could throw that ball, yeah. A little setup of the screen. Again, maybe not by design, but definitely something in their bag of tricks. And as Bev Facey prepares for their playoff run and provincial run, they're going to have some of those things. Like you said, you've practiced all year. You don't necessarily want to show them, but something coming.
Another run for Westcott. Kicks it to the right to the 54. They're not going to get enough here for the first down. Puts them in about a 3rd and 3.
Bev Facey bringing their, appears to be their punt team out. No guarantee ever, but 3rd and a few yards, punting away to let their defense do the job that they've been doing all day here.
Seen some excellent punts today from Ethan Thompson, standing outside of his own 40. And commentators jinx on that one. Not sure if it was blocked or if it went off the side of his foot. That's the second time that's happened to me tonight. It's absolutely without fail in football.
There's definitely pressure. Shep came with some pressure. You could see getting through there. Again, trying to angle it, but as the pressure came, number 20 off the edge there. Again, he just had to make sure it didn't get blocked, and it ended up off the side of his foot just a little bit more than he likely wanted. Not happy about the field position gain on that punt, but again, trusting this defense with a 24-0 lead. Not giving up a lot of big plays, and containing this Ross Shep offense here.
The Thunderbirds down 3 possessions. They would need 3 touchdowns and 3 extra points. It is possible, but Bev Facey putting a stop to the start of that at least, as they pick up the tackle for the loss.
Let's get the counter action, but the defense just number 99 just shedding the blocker and being a presence in the middle of that defense, making a huge play from a huge man-child there. Just working hard on side. I mean, again, you're looking at double teaming him almost every time.
Be a pitch to the outside. A run for Mulaney, and Bev Facey was right there.
You can tell the energy is still there with Bev Facey, really working hard, playing to the end. I mean, backers are flowing hard, really working at continuing to contain the offense of Ross Shep. This is always eventful, though.
I was just about to say.
Ross Shep's punt team, always eventful. Let's see what they have today.
We have seen everything. This time, one of those run punts you were talking about. They nearly get it back to the line of scrimmage, and it is picked up at the 35 by Bev Facey, returned by Kropp outside the 40. If I had to watch punting plays all day, I would pick this Ross Shep team to be punting in a heartbeat.
Totally, I'd be all over. I'd be up at the school watching the punt team, watch what's going on. It makes a lot of film work for a special teams coordinator if you know they have different options to go to. You've got to adjust it. Like they've shown us different formations, different movement patterns on their punt team. You have to adjust for all those, plan for all those, and know what you're going to do.
The trick play is when they punt the ball almost, instead of running something else. It's incredible. Here's the quarterback run for LQ. Breaks free past the 50, and Ben Miller in on the tackle, but not before LQ could get past the 45. Big pickup for the quarterback.
Well, that's where you have your receiver, tight end, back, now quarterback running the ball. Great athlete making some moves there. You can see just finding his way through, and then he's got a little bit of a burst of speed to get to the edge. Good job to ball security, and that's most important right now for all the backs and receivers of Bev Facey is ball security. You don't give Ross Shep any life here by turning the ball over.
Ball at the 43 of Ross Shep. LQ, he'll run it again, tries to find the edge on the outside, and just grabbing a hold of the jersey and hauling him down was Anthony Berg.
Yeah, Berg doing a good job and just getting his hand out, not letting go, get that strong grip. Again, not the ideal tackle, but you do what you can, right? Just kind of pulled him around his other player. So good pursuit there. Put him in a 2nd and 8.
They need the 33. LQ to throw, and just out of the reach of McIntyre.
As you can hear again, the punt team's coming out, and the punt team's been fairly effective today. Not only punting the ball, but they've got themselves a couple turnovers off the punt team, which really put this game away for Bev Facey. Kind of tight. Said it was 10-0 at the half, and again some turnovers and well-executed plays on offense, just punching it in with a short field. Rochep couldn't hold them out, so that's kind of put this game to where it is, 24-0. Punt team's back on the field.
Chance to back up Rochep here. Miller standing on his own 5, and it is blocked. Ball rolls out of bounds. Doesn't matter who touches it last now anyways. And big play there for the Rochep special teams unit, getting one back. Look at the ball outside their own 45.
Well, they've come with pressure. We'll take a look here. Oh, big 6-2 up the middle, gets the paw up in the air.
That's Tristan White again.
Great job making plays, getting through. Huge block there to give Rochep much better field position.
And maybe it's just me. Obviously, in a lot of these games, like you said earlier, the linemen on both sides of the ball sometimes, unless the guy's picking up 2-3 sacks a game, they don't always get the love. Tristan White has been an absolute monster on the inside on defense, now making his mark on special teams. Some trickeration from the Thunderbirds, and Bev Facey has it snuffed out. Cooper Aubrey was the last one off the double reverse, but Bev Facey was ready.
Well, coming with some misdirection. I love the call. Bev Facey got so deep into the backfield, a little bit of challenge there on the exchange, had to slow his feet, and that cost him. But great job of keeping the outside contained, and that's what you want to teach those guys. Force them back into the middle where you've got some help. Good job by the defense. Still love the call by Rochep. Great execution by Bev Facey.
Ended up being a loss of 6. Pass out to the right, and that one will fall incomplete.
A little bit of extra push there on the end of that. Again, quick out there. Gets his head around just outside his reach.
And we've talked about it. If you're thinking of tuning out now, maybe wait. Watch this punt play first. We'll see what happens. And don't tune out anyways. We still got 4 minutes and a couple seconds left to play in this game. Although it's 24-0, has brought a lot of entertainment all the way through. We'll see what Rochep has up their sleeve on this one.
Got something new, something different. Love it.
Looks like the kind of run punt they did last time. Pressure though, and maybe a smart play there just to get the punt away. It was caught at the 54.
And inside that 5-yard halo they give the punt returner was one of the Rochep guys. Again, good heads-up play. His job is not typically to catch it, but to recognize that kick. You can see there's a Rochep guy. He's like, oh, here, the ball's coming. Let's catch this. Good heads up because you catch the guy in the halo, even if he drops it.
Rochep, number 14. It's a 15-yard penalty.
So since it was in the air, it ends up being a 15-yard penalty.
And that's where that football IQ, as these high school players get more experience, play more years, something that we talked about Rochep building in their very young team. Lots of returning players for next year. That's a great heads-up play by the special teamer there.
All at the 41. Great field position here for Bev Facey. Sweep on the handoff to Crop. Makes a cut to the inside the 35. There's a flag down at the 23-yard line, away from the play.
You can say nice timing on the sweep there, blocking on the edge, double team to seal the edge, getting some space. Good job by the secondary, just Rochep just coming up, trying to limit that gain. But
Number 5, 10-yard penalty, still first down.
Sounds like maybe a holding there.
A legal block.
Legal block.
I got part of that. A legal block, and they're gonna move that one back.
So ball comes just outside the Ross Shepp 50. It will remain first down, 1st and 20. They'll fake the sweep and they'll pitch it to the inside. That's LQ. The receiver, tight end, quarterback, gets nearly all the penalty yardage back, out at the 42.
Well, like you said, doing lots of work getting to the edge, making the first guy miss, which is what you want from your athletes, make one guy miss, and if you can make more, great. So getting part of it back was good, manageable second down situation for Bev Facey.
Officials whistle in the 3-minute warning. Imagine here the Thunderbirds, you still want to try to break this shutout any way you can. Right now, Bev Facey looking to run out the clock. Deep pass, well defended. Couple defenders in the area there. Looked like Ben Miller and Gent Ejdini both in coverage.
It's on the outside shoulder, good coverage like you said. And we're exchanging some punts here. Let's see if anyone else got some trick in their bag they want to show. I'm sure Bev Facey doesn't want to show anything they haven't already to the teams who will dissect this film going into playoffs and provincials. Ross Shepp, on the other hand, is pulling all the tricks out of the bag tonight.
Thunderbirds blocked the last punting attempt. It was Tristan White through the middle. This time, Bev Facey able to get the punt away. Ben Miller inside of his own 10. Ball bouncing around back towards the Falcons, and Miller just going to hop on it. And there's a flag away from the play. I would struggle to see it being no yards because it's at the 25. There's a couple flags, actually. One in the area of no yards and one away from the play.
We get a shot here. Legal block. Took a couple of Ross Shepp guys you could see coming in the right side of the screen. Took a extra little curricular shot at someone running downfield. So I think they're going to cost themselves a few yards here. We'll see what the officials have to say as they talk this one out.
So likely a couple flags, a couple different penalties on the play. It's been a really good day of football here from Johnny Bright Park, the doubleheader and the ASAA games of the week.
Yeah, it's been great to see high school football televised. I think we're definitely making steps in the right direction with our amateur sports, getting them online again. You know, we've been able to do that more and more. It's become more readily accessible to watch games from different parts, where it's great for families to be able to, different parts of the province to take in sporting events of their family and their friends, and reducing some of that travel if you want to pick up some games, especially as we get this time of year. But great work by ASAA and Metro working these things out and getting a doubleheader for us tonight.
Long conversation here with 2:25.
And the big partnership, of course, with IC Live, bringing these games to you, and partnered with TELUS. But lots of crew members, cameras all over the place, and we get the lucky job in this crew just
There's two infractions on the play. No yards. Bev Facey, number 40. That's a 5-yard penalty. Unnecessary roughness, blocking from the rear. Ross Shepp, number 20. It's a difference of 10 yards. First down.
So we did get no yards when he picked it up as he steps forward. Yeah, I see that a little bit. Guy on the left there, number 40, a little close. Then the push in the back, you can see there on the right side of the play there. So the yards moving it back for Shepp. Now they're back near their goal line here. Gonna have to turn out some yards in the last 2:25 of this second game of the doubleheader.
Couple backs into the game for Ross Shepp. Handoff brought across the 10, and that's exactly the type of production you want on first down, backed up on your own goal line.
Well, yeah, but get yourself some breathing room. It takes away like a holding penalty in the end zone, a sack in the end zone for a safety. Great job there on first down. Second and about 3, it looks like. Got good 7 yards on that, so some good hard running there by Shep.
Gain of 7 yards on the play. 2nd and 3 now for the
Shep needs the 14.
11.
Another handoff, some room down the right side for Mulaney across the 30. Big pickup, big play on the ground, gain of nearly 20. And the Thunderbirds will move the sticks.
I love the athleticism he displays here, just hitting the hole, hitting it hard, getting upfield, you know, just finding that seam. Good job, good blocking up front, creating some space, and then your athlete through the hole he goes.
Now 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
Ross Shep taking a while in the huddle. Get out a little late. And some movement on the line. There was a receiver possibly offside. Run goes up the middle. Looks like there's movement on the line and a receiver offside. So I wonder if we might end up redoing the down here. We'll see what the flag's for.
Iron Eagle and Ty Bullock lead there to make the tackle. Flags down.
The initial signal, he caught the offense, not the defense.
Could have been a false starter procedure as well on the offense that forced the D-line to move. Normally that play's whistled down, but not always at any level.
Offside, Ross Shep, number 23. That penalty's declined. 2nd down.
Okay, so they will decline the penalty anyways. It'll be a 2nd and 10. See a player at the bottom of the screen there.
Yeah, we got a couple receivers jumping, I think, both on both ends of the field.
Snap is on the ground. Ball still down and the play blown dead. And I believe the Thunderbirds have maintained possession. It'll be a 3rd and long.
Backfield. Recovered by the Thunderbirds. We have 5-yard loss. 3rd and 15 from the 26-yard line.
So maybe one more punt in the game for the Thunderbirds. And if they have anything left up their sleeves, we're probably going to see it here. Seen a little bit of everything. Last couple have just been kind of those run punts to the right. And we'll see if that's what they do again here. There you go. There's the regular punt.
What?
Ball bounces on the Facey side of the field. And Ross Shep nearly gets the ball back. I don't think they did. It looks like the Falcons got back on top of it. That's up for the refs to the side, though. And there's a discussion. And it will be Falcons ball. So, of course, after all the tricks, the regular punt is one of them that almost forces a turnover.
You can see there, good job fighting for it there at the bottom of the pile. Saved himself a little bit of grief there on film review day, the day after, when you watch your film and learn from your own play during the game. They're gonna offense to wind this one out.
Ball at the 50. One more first down would do it here for the Falcons. They will pick up about half the yardage. Really good game today by the Falcons. You know, the Thunderbirds were able to keep it close for a while. And Falcons, you said it, I think, in the 3rd quarter early on, that they were just patient. They never panicked. Now up by 24 with a chance to close it here in the 4th quarter.
If you look at the course of the game, it was 3-0 almost going into the half. Facey gets a touchdown late in the 2nd, 2 in the 3rd with some turnovers and some helps with penalties. And that was it. That was the difference in the game over those 10 minutes of play.
And if you look at it from a Thunderbirds perspective, young players playing a top 10 ranked team, a lot of positive signs tonight. Maybe the biggest one being the defense. Remember, Bev Facey has scored 24 points. One of them was on a special teams touchdown. Another one was on a touchdown from the 15 after a special teams turnover. Your defense has only given up about 10 points tonight, if memory is serving me correct.
Yeah, they've done a really good job, and you've got coaching staffs on both sides of the field that do an outstanding job just developing the young talent they have in their schools, working them to a level at grade 12 where they can compete and compete at a high level. So hats off to not only these coaches, but again, with the opportunity to be on air, it's great that high school coaches around the city preparing for playoffs and provincial playdowns in the next month here to come. As the temperatures drop, the excitement rises around high school football around Alberta. Some of the best football in the country, I would say, here coming out of Alberta. Lots of talent going to different places at the next level, but some high-level football at all times here in Alberta. Lots of talent and lots of young men learning life skills through football because of the opportunity provided by the schools and the coaches that put lots of time into these young men.
The Thunderbirds did force one last turnover on defense, turnover on downs, and this could be last play of the game. Might have time for one more after this. Thunderbirds, they're going deep over the middle, and it's picked off. Intercepted by Cohen Powell. Another big play for Powell, and that'll ice it. The Falcons with the sweet victory.
Yeah, and real classy again. Interceptions, got some open space, just gets that clock wound down, takes a knee and gets out of here with their win. Heading into playoffs, they're excited about what's ahead for Bev Facey, but Ross Shepp also excited about what they have in the future with, I think, 26 returning players going to be ready to go next year. The offseason begins now for them as they develop their players into the future stars of high school football. And of course, Bev Facey moving on in the playoffs, looking to do some damage as they go through Metro playoffs and hopefully provincials for them.
So Rob, after your first game of the week's doubleheader, just put some final thoughts on the night for us today. We saw two pretty good games. Ultimately, Bev Facey taking the victory in this one, but ultimately a great night of football.
You know, these events are great for football as a whole. Obviously, these young guys getting the opportunity to be on TV at this age is wonderful, thanks to ICU Live and the partnership with ASAA, but also just the whole experience of the night. A Friday night, the lights are on, high school football's happening, and it's on TV. It's something that we haven't necessarily seen a ton of over the years, but definitely going in the right direction. And all the people involved in the background of ASAA working toward bringing high school sports as a whole, in this case football tonight, to the population around Alberta and around the country. And of course, it's good for football, and what's good for football is good for kids. And we always approach the educational system, and I'm a teacher and I get a lot of those conversations. Even the sport aspect of school is approached from that perspective, where we're teaching these young men life experiences, getting them to grow in that. And this is just one of those experiences. Exciting for the fans. You can see the fans gathering around, waiting to talk to their loved ones, the kids that are out there battling day in and day out. So really exciting to see. I'd like to see more of it as we move forward. And I think ASAA, Metro Athletics, and around the province, we're committed to continue to build the sport and build the exposure for these young athletes and these programs.
That will wrap up our doubleheader for the night. AOB Crusaders win Game 1. Bev Facey Falcons win Game 2. From the whole crew at IC Live, Connor Toffin and Rob Herod signing off for the final time. Thanks for watching, everybody. It's been a great night of football. Enjoy your weekends.